And the second topic that stood out was Myles Garrett. And, he'd been very vocal during Super Bowl week about I want out. And at Combine, I talked on air with Andrew Berry, their GM, and he told me Myles is unmovable. And him saying the word unmovable,
Yeah.
that struck me as, are you sure? Because Myles seems intent on never playing for you. And I understand the team has leverage, but if Myles decides not to show up for OTAs and mini camp and training camp, and if he wants to push this, sort of how we saw Chris Jones not show up for week 1 of the season, and then finally Chiefs were like, "Oh, okay, let's get this done." If Myles wants to push it that far, you're looking at a Browns team that has questions at quarterback, and then holes to fill at defensive end if Myles isn't there, and also other guys on the team, other vets looking at Myles saying, if we can't keep him, it just seems like a really
Yeah.
bad recipe in Berea.
Do you get the sense that he's dug in? Like, kind of what do you get the sense it could lead into the season? Like that
Yeah.
Miles's side is that dug in?
Yeah. And that's what actually scared me because I
Yeah.
would say, oh, I've known Myles for a long time. I feel like I'm always in Cleveland. Myles he's not gonna miss time. And the fact that people in the building, that's what scared me, that people in the building were like, no, we think he's dug in. And, and that's what really worried me because this is a
Mhm.
team where Deshaun Watson, there's a good chance he's not going to step on the field this year. So who's the quarterback and what can you tell Myles as a franchise? Because what got me, Kay, was that I've been told it's not about money. And that's usually
Oof.
how you get guys back in, where it's like, hey, we can extend you, we'll give you this. Like that sort of appeases them. So if you're Myles and you've been, you were drafted here, I think he went 1-15 at one point, or he's seen every sort of iteration of the Browns and every sort of quarterback change that we've seen in the last like 8 years, and it hasn't been pretty. So the fact that it's not about money, that worries me. And the fact that the team seems stubborn right now to move on from him, because the Browns are not rebuilding. They're like, we're trying to get to the playoffs. And I don't know who the quarterback is, and I don't know if Myles Garrett will be there. And you're picking second overall. So are you taking a quarterback? Are you taking Abdul Carter?
Yeah.
To pair with Myles, but you don't know if Myles is there. So we'll see.